right. Alrighty, welcome to the stream, everyone. Hold on as I set up my computer. Let me lock in here and see how the stream's looking for everyone. Let's see. How's the stream looking? Alrighty, welcome to the stream, everyone. Okay, stream sounds good. What's up, Stephanie? What's up, French? How you guys doing today? Thanks for joining right now. We just went live. We're going to do some research on some content today. Today we're actually going to do something a little bit different than normal. Typically, I would ask you guys in the chat about your niche, what content we can help you with. What's up, Stephanie? Nice to see you. But what I want to do today, guys, is I'm trying to come up with a signature series for my Instagram, and I'd like to do some research on signature series. Are you guys familiar with creators that do these types of series where they'll say like day one of blank, whatever their goal is? I wanted to center today's live around that, trying to figure out how can we create a viral series for our pages, because that's how you really stand out. So let me know if that would be of value to you guys. That's what I have in my mind here. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I've seen a lot lately. Awesome. Fantastic. Yes, so today we're going to center today's live around creating series for our pages. I am eternally grateful for, and let me move the top of the screen so you guys can see it. I am eternally grateful for all the support on my page. My first milestone was to get to 5,000 followers. Now that I hit that milestone, I am now going to try to make my page as unique as possible. That's my next North Star mission. But can I film them all in one or a few days? I feel like I can't commit to really every day. I totally hear what you're saying. Exactly. How do these people do it pretty much every single day? And that's what I want to figure out today. So we're going to find a ton of different series, and I'm going to put them into this Google Sheets here. And we're going to see if we can find any similarities between these viral series that we're seeing. I've found that the creators that do these types of series videos, their pages explode, and they are super unique creators. And obviously we want to do the same. So, and Stephanie, since you're in here, depending on what your schedule's like, feel free to message me for this Google Sheet. So we're going to create a library of viral series videos we're seeing online today. And if you want it, just send me a DM that says series on it so I know what it's regarding. Here's what it looks like so far. So I found a couple that I think were pretty clever so far. And Tiago, thanks for your help too. Tiago's also found some as well. We'll start at the top. Let me know if you guys can see. Let me know if you guys can see my screen okay. Let me tap into live here. So we're going to create a library of viral series videos we're seeing online today. And if you want it, just send me a message. Just send me a DM that says series. Thanks. I'm on a plane. That's awesome. Thanks for being on the live on a plane. Well, in that case, then we'll start by finding some fitness series that you might be able to recreate. And by the way, Stephanie, I am also live on YouTube as well. So I will make sure. Tiago, is there a way that we can actually, maybe I can just send Stephanie the link to our YouTube channel. I wish it would be as simple as just adding a link to the chat here, but I don't know if it's that simple. But anyways, this will be on YouTube too, this whole live recording. So if you ever want to watch a replay of this, feel free to tap into my Newly created YouTube channel. Okay, with that being said, enough talking. Let's get right into the series. So, Stephanie said, I'm a super niche fitness instructor. I'd love to do this. Fantastic. Let's first look at your page, Stephanie, and let's figure out what kind of series can we create. Because I'm trying to figure the same thing out for myself. So don't take this as expert advice, but we're going to go through the process together. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay. New England fitness, Rhode Island base, balance, strength, flow. Let's see. Is there a specific type of first time the live is watched above the ground? I don't know what that means, Tiago, but yes. Stephanie, is there a type of fitness that you talk about quite a bit on this page here? Like, is there a type of exercise that you specialize in or a certain technique that you specialize in? I know you mentioned you're on a plane, so I won't ask you too many questions. But just trying to get a basic understanding here. Oh, okay, like these balance exercises probably? Yeah, I do mini... Yeah. This is a good example. I do mini trampoline workouts. Cool. Cool. Right. Nice. Okay. Cool. I've seen some videos of those. All right, let's figure out some series ideas. First off, let me look up balance fitness exercise. Let's just see what comes up. Just out of curiosity. Purple jump video, totally. What's up, Amar? I'll put something in the chat, but today we are researching viral series ideas for our pages. I'm trying to create a viral series for my page. Maybe you've seen them before where someone says day one of blank, trying to get to a certain goal. Just makes basically like a bingeable account. So I'm going to put this in the chat here. All right. Just commented. Fantastic. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Okay. First idea for you, Stephanie. Hopefully you're still in here. If not, I'll send this to her after. Is it possible, Stephanie, where you can take this text hook where it says POV me every morning because I'd rather do this for 10 minutes than walk 10K steps? What do you think about a series where you set a goal for, I mean, you might already be at your ideal body weight. You let me know. But let's say, like, for example, you wanted to set a weight loss goal and you made a challenge around, like, you're going to try to hit, let's say, whatever body weight in however many days by balancing on the trampolines instead of doing regular cardio. Would that be something that could be in alignment with your page? In the meantime, I'll send this to you as an idea. I feel like there's something that you can do with this idea right here. Because this video clearly did really well. It was posted very recently. And this lady said that she does this every morning instead of walking. What's up, Rochelle? Good to see you again. Rochelle, today we're doing something a little bit different today. We are trying to figure out series videos. I don't know if you've ever seen those, like, viral series contents. A lot of creators call them signature series. I'll show you a couple examples, but I'd like to create some for my page, as well as, maybe we can all learn from it for our pages as well. It certainly helps to create a very unique personal brand when you have a signature series. And so we're trying to research, what do these series have in common, and how can we create a signature series of our own? Thought about calorie burn numbers on the Apple Watch. It's higher calorie burn than a cycle, class, or running. Cool. Is there a specific, like, weight loss goal that you might have? or some sort of fitness goal that you might have that could anyway be aligned with the trampoline bouncing. What's up, Garrett? How are you, man? Good to see you. Garrett, I do actually owe you, I know we've been talking over DMs. I do owe you some help with your page. How does your time look today? Because I can definitely help you. We were going to spend today's live researching some signature series, which are basically series videos for Instagram, but I know you've been messaging me for a little bit, so I'll definitely prioritize giving you some insights before we go into our series. And just for reference, when I talk about signature series, if I type in day one, you guys will see a ton of it. What's up, 1J? You know, these are the videos that we're going to study today, guys. These like day one of whatever kind of challenge videos. But again, Garrett, I know you and I have been talking for a little bit, so let's first, before we get into studying series content today, guys, let's first take a look at what Garrett's got going on, see if I can provide some help with what I've learned by developing a short content strategy. What's up, 1J? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Stephanie, I try to avoid weight. My clients are mostly women. It can be touchy. Got it. Okay. Got it. Yeah, we can definitely think about some goals then. We'll come back to that series idea. Let me first transition over. So let me create a Google Docs. And Garrett, if you have some time here, I'm going to go through and create a 7-day content strategy, if you will, for you, if that works. I know you and I have been talking a little bit. Or maybe day one bouncing in public or in unique places. Basically, what I've seen, Stephanie, is the best series that I've seen from creators, they will typically have, what am I looking for here? Oh, I got to name it. Give me 1 second. The best series videos that I've seen typically have an aspirational goal attached to them, as well as some sort of challenge or deadline. So common example would be like, let's say day one of 30 of trying to get to $10,000 a month, right? It's an aspirational goal that not only you, but also the general audience would find value in, right? Like the series should serve as almost like a roadmap to a goal that multiple people might have for themselves, which is why I was asking about the weight loss, because that's a super universal goal for many people, weight loss or building muscle or whatever. We can still figure out, I know you're saying it's a touchy subject, we can still figure out maybe an alternative, but to put it in perspective, most people, and maybe you've heard this idea in sales where people say, you don't want to sell the flight, you sell the vacation. It's kind of the same thing in marketing as well, where a signature series, what I've seen, always has some sort of aspirational goal or dream outcome versus if I were to say in your example, like day one of 10 of bouncing on trampolines to burn 2,000 calories. Most people don't dream of burning, 2,000 calories, but they do dream of having their ideal body weight or their ideal, body fat loss or whatever the case is, right? So we'll think about that in just a second. Garrett, thanks for sticking around. Again, guys, just for everyone in the chat, Garrett and I have been messaging for the past probably a couple of weeks now. We've just been trying to figure out a time for Garrett to hop in. So I really want to make sure that I can provide some value for Garrett first, and then we'll talk about a series. So Garrett, let's see what you got going on here. By the way, the last time you talked to me, you said that you had a couple ideas that were cooking. How are those ideas working for you? Because I see that you're already gaining some good exposure here, and you're at 2,000 followers. I think the last time we spoke, you were maybe closer to like 1,000. So it seems like things are working out for you, Garrett. Be curious to hear your insights. And also, Garrett, if you have time, I'm happy to have you call in. First things first, I'm going to just do a quick scan of your page, give you my thoughts on videos that you should film next. And then if you want to call in, if you have time, I'm happy to walk through your thoughts, what you have going on. I know you said you have a kind of a game plan in mind. Nice. are me emulating a creator I like a lot? Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, happy to call. Absolutely, man.
Depends on what it is, but probably F tier.
Vitamin D3 and K2.
Cool. Actually, let's do this just for the sake of time, Garrett. Let me send you the number to call. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I have to take this off the screen real quick. Yeah, Garrett, I'm gonna DM you the number to call, and then we'll talk about your page, and hopefully I can give you a game plan here. I think I'll be able to. This is good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, Garrett's killing it. All right, let me put it back on the screen now. Garrett, check your DMs in just 1 second, my friend. One J, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you again. All right, Garrett, feel free to call that number in. Hopefully it doesn't give you any weird like automated messages or anything. This is another number of mine, so I don't know what it's gonna ask you to do. Okay, cool. I'm seeing your inspirations. I'm gonna pull this up on screen, and feel free to call in too. If you have any issues, I see ya. I gotcha. Cool.
Press any key to connect the call.
Okay, hold on. Garrett, can you hear me okay, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. First off, Garrett, thanks for joining in. I got to make sure the chat can hear you. Are you okay with this call being on the live here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And how does your time look today, sir?
I'm wide open, man. Yeah,
Awesome.
Sorry it's taking me so long to hop on here.
Not at all, man. Not at all. I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to make sure I hit record on this. Tiago in the chat would kill me if I didn't hit record on this conversation here. We just started a hold on. Just started a YouTube channel for these replays because we're getting a lot of people that want these live calls. They want to watch it after. So let me make sure that I have this recording.
Okay. See if I can get up. Let's see here.
Tiago, we might be out of luck, my friend. We'll take the live for now, and then we'll figure out how to. Unless I'm hitting the wrong button here, Tiago, let me know. Sorry, I'm talking to tech support right now, for how to record. The YouTube one, not the Instagram one. Cool. All right, we'll figure this out, Tiago. If I'm missing an obvious button, just send me a Google chat. We'll take a look at it in 1 second. I want to make sure that we don't take up too much of Garrett's time here. So Garrett, walk us through, and Tiago, while I'm asking Garrett this, yeah, feel free to do whatever you need to do. You don't see it? Okay, cool. All right, Garrett, tell us in the chat what's going on with your game plan. You said you were trying to mimic a creator that you really like. I know you've been messaging me over DMs saying you had a kind of like a content plan in place. Tell me a little bit about that. What do you got going on here?
You want me to type it in, or me just talk verbally?
Yeah. Feel free to talk verbally. Chat, you guys can hear Garrett okay, right? Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
My video is frozen on the live right now, so just wanted to.
Oh.
I'm walking inside right now, see if my Wi-Fi will kick it back on. But yeah, I DM'd you, the creator I was just mentioning. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with Callaway's tool,
Yeah.
Sandcastles. I use that
Yeah.
to look at some top performing videos from some people I like, and take some advice from my buddy who's growing up quite a lot recently.
Love it.
But out of all the creators I follow, this guy, Dr. Moss, so he's an actual physician. I'm a med student, but he's doing and talking about a lot of the same things I enjoy. So this car format probably constitutes half of his most viral videos that he's put out in the last 12 months.
Okay.
Where he's doing a ranking, or like love it versus leave it.
Sure.
It's kind of like the series. So
Sure.
I tried my best, there was definitely some visual improvements that could have been made in these, and a little bit of, and I did it with someone's recorded voice, not someone live in the car with me. But I could just all these ones, tried to take my own spin, maybe took 75% of the essence of his video, and then changed a few of the concepts, what we're providing commentary on. And also, I feel like I got decently close.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy to have you take a look at those and see what you think.
And I want to say for the chat too, this is a really good example of. Well, we'll talk about a couple things, but first off, let's talk about how you remix the video. So how you found a video that you wanted to emulate and you put your own spin to it. This is a really good example of a good way to remix. So you even took it a step further where you're wearing like a similar outfit to him while driving, but you made everything else different in terms of the topic. So what I'm looking at right here, just for the chat, is you have like the original video says ranking wellness trends on a scale of 1 to 10. Does he have a tier list one too, or is it just the ranking one that you were looking at?
Yeah, there's a couple others.
Okay.
He has like 6 or 7 like this. Those are the ones that had in my saved file, and the ones that I did do were actually fairly comparable. But he's done a couple in this format, like that fat loss one that was just entirely me with that concept, and then for instance the love it or leave it, I maybe kept 70% of the things, and but then gave my own take on it, not his take.
What I wanted to say is kudos to you for you're seeing something that you have determined is working, and you added your own spin to it instead of like having this video be about ranking wellness trends and then adding your own value. You changed the topic completely to ranking supplements S to F tier. I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's a big enough change, even if you're wearing the same outfit, same format. Like it's a big enough change where, this is more of a unique video. So kudos to you. I'm glad that these are rocking and rolling for you. What is the performance on these videos looking like on your end in terms of your expectations? Like, did you expect these videos to do around like your average performance? Are you happy with how they're turning out? Walk me through the mindset that you have after posting these videos.
Yeah, I did do a little bit of testing here with, was there an intro, was there not, did I jump right in or not?
Yeah.
Let's see, 2 of these I think around 7,000 in the last day. So those 2 are a little bit above average. My average is anywhere from probably 3 to 5K.
Nice.
My biggest outlier is probably like, I've got a couple in the million, but those weren't necessarily like on niche. Me talking.
Sure.
I don't really count those. So really my best performer of me and, on brand is around like 120. I've had some in the, few 20 to 25. So, these are doing a little bit better than average. And, I've done some of these where I've emulated before. And I think this was actually, in my opinion, a little bit of a closer imitation, closer to the style.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, just some of the, I don't think this was the main delta here, so don't get me wrong, but, these small factors like, he has some music front camera holding it, so like I have mine on a car mount that's shaking 30% of the time.
Yep.
And the video quality is going to be a little degraded. I had to splice in my friend's voice, whereas he's answering, so there's a little bit more of a natural feel. I don't think that made the difference in these of, going viral or not, but, it's those small, I think these small things do add up.
Sure.
But yeah, overall, I'm happy. I was curious to see how these would end up doing. I thought they might do a little bit better, to be honest with you, but still a little bit above average.
One thing that I'm noticing, I can tell that you know a thing or two when it comes to content based on not only you mentioning sandcastles, finding videos to potentially emulate, but also I went to, on the live here, I'm using sort feed just to sort your most popular videos recently. And I see that one of your most popular videos is the things I did during my 9 gap years. And immediately as soon as you saw that video did well, it looks like you recreated it again in a different format. So kudos to you. I can tell that you definitely know a thing or two when it comes to creating content. So that's sweet. What do we want to center this discussion around? Because I'm happy to give you some thoughts around maybe new ideas. I know it sounds like you already have some ideas, though, if we want to look at some of your videos. And by no means am I an expert by any means, but I'm happy to give you some feedback, suggestions based on my lived experience.
Yeah, for sure. I think two things, maybe, I'd be curious to see from an outsider's perspective, how, when you look at Clay's videos who I sent you versus mine, it's
sure.
Like, hey, Garrett, this is the delta that I'm seeing between, what I think made his go viral versus yours.
Okay.
That might be interesting just to garner some. And then, my friend Doug, he's grown from 0 to 60K in about 8 months. And, he's really studied the game a lot too. He gave me the advice of, hey, let's try to niche down into like 2, maybe 3 formats. And he's like, I really think these like ranking, kind of snappy formats, are something that, you could really try to leverage. I haven't really experimented with those. And this was on my first batch. I'm going to do another where it's like me at a desk where image sliding on screen and hey, 0 to 10, or doing another S2, S through F tier, just in, out of the car. Maybe like I've got a home office studio set up. So I've got some different locations and different ways I want to experiment with that. So
sure.
It's not another the 2 things that could be useful is, hey, A versus B on the emulation, and 2, hey, if you're me, looking at my content, how would you maybe look to approach some of this ranking, rating,
sure.
Style?
Sure. So first off, you mentioned like your buddy, he's grown an account. He said, hey, we should just, lock down on 2 or 3 formats. I think that's super, super wise advice. Like for my page, if I wanted to grow as quickly as possible, I would literally just spam I have like 2 or 3 formats right now that they just crush every time. And like, if I wanted to go from 0 to, 50,000, I could just spam. I have these like step-by-step videos where I talk about AI tools for content. I would literally just spam those. And then I have this video with me in the car yapping about, structures and whatnot. I'd spam that. Depends on, of course, I have different goals though. I'm not trying to just like explode right now. I'm trying to my main focus is more of these lives, trying to build trust quickly. One thing that I've noticed is, and you would know this, your buddy would know this too, and for everyone in the live, you guys probably would understand this too, is videos with the simplest script structures or the simplest pattern of sentences are always going to be the ones that are going to get more visibility. Those are what we call the top of funnel piece of content, which I know you're familiar with, Garrett, such as like the ranking videos, super simple script structure, me pointing at my computer and saying, do this, do this, do this, do this. Very simple to follow. It's always going to bang. Anytime that I'm talking to the car and it's a long conversation, like very deep value, it's obviously not going to get as much visibility. And there's pros and cons to both. Me personally, like a lot of my recent content has been very deep value just to garner trust. But of course the views are lower. If I wanted to optimize for views, I would hit those, what you're talking about, those formats of the ranking in the tier list. The only issue with that is you'll get a lot of engagement, you'll grow quickly, but you still need to garner the trust of the audience, just because you can't with some of these script structures. For example, like my video where I'm talking about Claude on Instagram, I can't really input a lot of my own unique personality and experience because I'm just following like a step-by-step, very simple process. Same with your tier list. You can, of course, insert your own personality, but it's easier to do that in other types of endeavors. So I'm not saying one is bad or one is good. I'm just saying that there's pros and cons to consider. And so what I was going to say is there was something you said, emulate, as well as if I were in your position, what I would think about, and I'm sure you and your buddy understand this too, is when you are looking at videos to emulate, what I've seen from my experience, the videos where I have seen like the best, let's say, engagement or whatever results I was looking for. I do this on my live. Everyone probably knows this by now. I look at like basically 3 criteria. Is one, is the creator that I'm trying to emulate the video from, is this a small creator? So is this creator less than 100,000 followers? In this case with Dr. Clay Moss, he has 527,000 followers. And so your first question was like, what is it about these videos that are causing his to do well? Well, if I were to actually look at this video based on his followers, this video actually I think is just like an average video for him because he just has so many people. Like it's not really an outlier per se. I mean, it did do well, but it's not. When I'm thinking about an outlier, I'm looking at videos that have basically 3 to 5 times more views than followers. So an outlier for Dr. Clay would have to be in the millions of views. So I always, whenever I'm trying to emulate a video, I'm always looking for a smaller creator in my niche. So ideally someone like even below 50,000 is really where the gold is. And they have a video that is around 5 times more views than followers. And again, I'm sure you mentioned Callaway and Sandcastles, so I'm sure you're familiar with this process as well. And then the third thing that I'm looking for is the date that it was posted. So this video that you emulated looks like it was posted. I mean, I don't know if this is the exact video that you were trying to emulate, but the ones that you sent me were in October of 2025. I've noticed for me personally, I'm not saying like this is a golden rule by any means for anyone in the chat, but for me personally, whenever I find a video that is posted less than like 60 days before today, and I emulate those videos, those tend to always do better, just because the topic's more relevant. You know, also that's the other thing too is if you are going to remix the idea. So like, again, I don't know if you remix this video. When I say remix, I mean like you saw a video and you said, hey, I want to make something similar. I'm going to add my own twist to it. So you did a remix. I don't know if you took the ranking wellness trends video and you're like, okay, that's my source of inspiration. I'm going to make this tier list for ranking supplements. Whatever you decide to remix, you want to make sure that that topic is also in demand as well. That's why, like, I've found that for me, when I am emulating videos that are recent, it's easier for me when I have the goal of like, you know, views or whatever the case is, it's easier for me to have that video bang because I know that the topic is in demand currently. You know, so like, for example, right now, if I were to take this video, like ranking wellness trends, and I were to remake it or remix it into my niche, I'm not going to take ranking wellness trends and turn it into like ranking content strategies because I don't know if the words content strategies are in demand. What I do know that is in demand is yapping in my niche, as well as like AI and content. These are all like topics that always go viral, as well as a couple others. And so whatever you remix, you want to make sure that whatever the topic is also something that you know people have demand for. In your case, you said supplements. I do believe, I mean, I'd have to research right now, but I'm pretty sure supplements are pretty proven topic. Like I'm pretty sure if I were to type in supplements here on, let's just do it live here, chat. Let's see if it is. I'm pretty sure there's like dozens of viral videos talking about different supplements to take. So
and Sean, the only thing I think would be worth noting, just from like said, the selection of this example, this guy's grown from like 0 to 500,000 in about 12 months. So like at the time this was posted, it was an outlier.
Oh, you're saying you're saying Dr. Clay?
I mean,
nice.
Yeah,
okay.
he just grown so fast that
nice.
you know, whenever that was posted, I mean, it was at least a 5 to 8x outlier.
Nice. Okay. I figured as much because I'm like, you're saying Callaway, you're saying Sandcastles. I'm like, I already know this guy knows what he's doing. So okay, cool. One thing that I'm seeing here is you have a couple different ranking supplements S to F tier, but we have difference in performance. We have one that's 2,000 views, one that's 2,600 views, one that's 7,700 views. Before I look at this, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you have any thoughts around why this one with 7,700 views did better than the other two?
You know, one, this is a suspicion. I heard the one I made on like the fat loss aids might have like not performed as well. I know like maybe some of the words I use get like a little more trafficking from the platform in terms of inhibition. No, it went granted, minor factor there, I think.
Sure.
I'm sometimes too impatient when I think that they use trial reels effectively, but
sure.
I did use it a little bit. And I think even I waited 24 hours to repost the second version. So I think some of these, I essentially had like a 4 to 5 second intro, which was what he, recorded in his videos, was the fiance going, hey, love it or leave it supplements, or love it or leave it health trends, or
sure.
breaking supplements S through F. And it seemed like when I avoided that and just went into the meat, I think I have to go back and double check, but I think those ones did better than the variations where I had a 4 to 5 second intro of, hey, this is what it is.
Yep. I'm also taking back my question too, because I'm seeing that these videos that I'm comparing were just posted recently. Like you posted one an hour ago, one 5 hours ago. Are you posting 3 times a day?
Yeah, it's funny. Like sometimes I'll do.
You're a madman.
Sometimes 1 a day. Because
okay.
I just get all these in a batch and just sit down and edit them and just shot them out. So.
Cool. Yes. So yeah, in my experience, I've also seen the same where like people get it. The text hook explains the concept of the video. Like every time that I've done specifically my experience where what I'm talking about this topic is the listicle videos where it's like 10 blank that always work or whatever. Whenever I'm doing those listicle styles, anytime that I've ever said whatever is on screen, like if I were to say ranking supplements S to F tier, just like you said, for me, it's always underperformed versus me just like getting right to it because people get, the text hook explains what the video is about. My next question for you is also the text choice that you're using. So I see you have like this, I don't even know how to describe the design. It kind of looks like a bush. It's like green. It says ranking supplements S to F tier, but it has like this green background, the yellow outline. It seems like that was intentionally done. Can you walk me through your thought process on why you chose that?
Yeah, I was trying to like get some decently close to Clay's, and in his there was no consistency in font choice. And I've been the last like 3 weeks just like, hey, I found one font I'm trying to use consistently.
Sure.
He actually haven't used these like weird colors in most of my videos. He had one thing like he had like some yellow and green or green and blue fonts. So like I'll just once again just for emulation purposes try to do that. And I thought that popped a little bit more than me trying to do like black and white in a white text box like I have in some other stuff. Just it was that was kind of a new thing experiment that was just trying to get closer to the source.
Sure. So a couple things for you. I'm just going to give you what I've seen to work as well as of course my own lived experience too. When it comes, and I'll say with the tier list in particular, and then if you want me to help you, what is your, first off, before I even get into this, what does your next batch of videos look like? Do you already have that pre-planned?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a couple more. I've done probably like 10 emulations of Clay's videos.
Okay.
None of which have popped off, actually.
Sure.
I thought I could get at least, I would pick like 10 of his best outliers and try to do my own spins. So I might try to redo some of these still to get them a little more dialed. I'm going to have some tier lists and ranking videos in my home setup. Where I actually have like a pretty well lit like office setup with some like couple pro lights and whatnot.
Nice.
So I'm gonna test in there.
Sure.
I want to keep trying to I want to see if I can get this format to work for me.
Good. Good. I like that.
Want to find I do want to get yapping to work for me.
Sure.
I haven't got that to work either.
Sure.
I've kind of tabled out. I'm just gonna try to dig in on this until I get something to.
I mean, it depends.
Be productive.
It depends. I mean, I got some flack for this on my video about yapping, but it depends on what you mean by it. I mean, you have a video right here with MD versus DO, and I mean, whatever. People will consider it a talking head because you're editing. Does whatever. This video still got 16,000 views. On a page with 2,000 followers. Like, okay, what can we do here? This format clearly worked here. MD versus DO. Maybe there's something that we can try to double down on. So we'll get to that in just a bit. Let's first talk about the tier list because I'll give you some insights from. I have a buddy who he has like a content company. He only works with fitness folks, and he has this one client, and he's just blown up his account with tier list videos. And here's what I've learned from that experience. If you're trying to make this format work, is what they do is already, first off, you already got the idea that, you know, you don't introduce the whatever the video is, you just let the text on screen say it. But they immediately, like, they think very heavily about the order of the items that are being ranked. So for example, like if I were to make a video on I don't know, ranking supplements, and the very first item that I rank is, I'm just going to give a crazy example, like let's say I say like steroids or something, right? Like obviously it's not a supplement, but it's a controversial enhancement, you know? And so for you, it's like if the goal is like, I want to make these tier list videos work and pop off, the first thing I'd be thinking about is, okay, I know I don't have to introduce anything. Like the beauty of this format is you don't have to say anything for your hook in terms of introducing the topic. The first thing you say is whatever the item is that you're ranking. And so that hook should be something that is ideally, again, if your goal is to grow the page, take this with a grain of salt. If your goal is to grow this format, I would try to think like, is there one item in this list that a lot of people would disagree with that I might believe actually is beneficial? It's basically your hot take. I see that works.
So you're trying to bait the hot take in, you know, inadvertently almost.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I see that works time and time again. Again, obviously, you would know better than us. You have the unique advantage that I don't know nearly as much about medical stuff that you do. And so if there's whatever the topic is, if it's supplements, if there's a specific supplement out there that might be controversial or you have a hot take on or would make someone like second guess or stop, I would have that be one of your first items that you list. Here's a perfect example. You said ranking weight loss supplements S to F tier, and the first thing you said was caffeine. And again, I know this isn't a supplement, but you can hear where I'm going with this. If I was doing like ranking weight loss, maybe you change the word supplements to enhancements. Obviously, that's more of a controversial, opinion here. But like with the topic of weight loss, if the first thing you said was Ozempic or something, I know it's not a supplement, but you get what I'm going. Like Ozempic is, when we're talking about topics, that's also like a trending topic, pretty controversial. And I'm not saying you have to be controversial to get views, but you understand the game, right? And if you have like a hot take around that, or even if you just bring it up, even if it is F tier, just the fact that you're bringing up a trending weight loss drug, whatever, that's going to be your hook. Okay. Now, again, I'm not saying like you need to manufacture controversy. Everyone in the chat, don't take this out of context. Just saying this is something to think about when you have your list of items. Really think about what are the items that we have listed. The other thing too is you have an order from S to F or whatever. What I've seen to work is teasing the like the lower placements. And how people do that. How people do that is twofold. So one is you'll see people, they'll have, I'm not saying you need to do this like immediately, but this could be something to experiment. Let's say you have a list of 5 supplements, right? What you'll see some people do is they'll have the like graphics of these items kind of blurred, right? And you just kind of see it I'm sure you've seen this. Like they have the graphics blurred, and then as each one is ranked, you see it go unblurred onto the chart. And so you can see visually, okay, I have 4 more, or he's going to rank 4 more of these items. And it's a way to visually entice the audience. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, let me just pull up an example here since we're on live. Hold on. Give me 1 second. You see this a lot when people will have they'll have an order of items somewhere on the screen, and you can kind of follow, how many items are going to be left to talk about, like right here. So anyone in the chat, if anyone in the chat can see, we have dude, this guy's so freaking funny. Adelman Aspires. And I don't know, Garrett, if you can see my screen. If not, I'll just send you the replay. But for chat.
Yeah, it's still not lined up for me for some reason.
Oh, that's totally fine. When you say lined up, you mean like the screen recording?
The live is, the live is
just delayed?
not current for me.
Got it. No worries. Yeah, there's like a 15-second delay on it. I think because I'm streaming on multiple platforms, it probably increases the delay, so no worries. For everyone in the chat, this is a perfect example. I'm basically showing live right now this guy, Adelman Aspires. I'm sure you're familiar with him. He's doing this tier list, and right below the tier list, you can see how many items are left that he's going to rank. And so it's just a way to, like, you're basically teasing the payoff. You're like, okay, there's 7 more items that he has to go through. I want to know, like, which one's going to be at the very bottom, right? So it's like, it's kind of stringing someone along with a rope. You could do the same thing with your supplements if you had little graphics or whatever, or just images at the bottom. And each one that's being ranked, you can see, okay, there's one less supplement to go being ranked. It's just, again, it's just a retention hack that I see a lot of people do. We have someone in the chat. First off, Garrett, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, makes perfect sense.
Okay.
And it's always good to know, because I do think, the combination of some of these small things do make big differences, right?
Totally.
Or like the equality aspect, or just the ordering, the visual curiosity loop you open.
Yes.
With having them on screen. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that's all great tips.
And by no means don't take me as the tier list expert. I see these patterns all the time, and so I'm going to actually give you some advice from the chat here. This is why we go on lives, because we can have multiple feedback loops for you. So we have someone in the chat, 1J. So 1J, just for context, I'm sure you're familiar with Ava, right? Ava with Personal Brand Launch. 1J was on her team for a long... Are you familiar with Ava at all? Personal Brand Launch?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So 1J's in the chat. He worked with Ava for a couple years. So he says... He's giving some insight on the tier list videos. He says, I notice usually with the tier list videos, the ones that do phenomenally well always start with like the most controversial ones in our niche, posting... I don't know what you mean on that last one, 1J. Okay, so he's just reiterating what I'm saying. The ones that do the best from what we're seeing are the ones that have the hot take at the very beginning. That's basically your embedded loop. So that might be, or your embedded hook, rather. So that might be something worth considering. Also playing around with, again, the topic, like you have ranking, and again, this is chat, just so you guys know. By no means am I saying, like, you need to manufacture controversy to grow. But if I were Garrett and my goal was I want to just crank these out and grow as quickly as possible, I'd play around with the topic as well. Like, how did you go from the wellness trends to supplements? What was that process like for you? When
I didn't send you the. I wish I had them saved down. I could probably locate it real quick. Don't want to linger on the topic, but all these were emulations of outliers that Clay had, except the fat loss one. I just thought, and that was me trying to manufacture, 100% my own version of the format from him. All the others were taken from him. Yeah.
So all clear with the inspiration. I'm saying more so like, how did you come up with, so you see this video from Clay and you're like, okay, I want to try to recreate this. How did you go from, okay, wellness trends, I'm going to make my own spin on it and choose supplements? Like, what made you choose supplements out of anything?
I'm saying, like, he did one on supplements with probably 75%.
Oh, got it. Okay. Fantastic.
So
okay.
I essentially took that and, like, my only alterations where I took maybe 5 supplements out of his list and added my 5, and then all the takes were my own takes.
Fantastic. Okay. Got it. So that in that case, then just keep ripping those, and then just again, if you're going to use that same topic, then I would just play around with the order of your items, trying to have, and again, like, you don't need to manufacture it, but having something that might be considered a hot take or something that most people would disagree with, or whatever the case is, towards the front, as well as playing around with those like retention hacks of, can I have, and I'll send you an example too, because I know I'm showing the live, but I know you can't see this. Having the images of your items below the tier list so people can see how many more are left, that would help you, as well as in your video. The second video that I'm seeing on the page, this is the one that was posted 5 hours ago. The first thing that you ranked was caffeine, and you put it A tier, that's good that you didn't put it S tier. Like, You want to keep the extremes of the tier list towards the end of the video, right? Like if, to put it for everyone in the chat, just to make it make sense, if let's say I'm doing a video on like ranking content strategies, I don't want to give my best content strategy at the very beginning because there's nothing that's above S tier. And so I want to keep my best, like whatever my S tier is, towards the end so people stick around. And so like you keeping caffeine at A tier is good because it's like, oh, okay, it's almost the best, but there's one that's better, you know? And then if you leave that towards the end, that'll help, those two. And that's if you keep the supplement topic. Just rinse that, change the order of your items as well as how you place them. And then my next piece of advice with this format in particular would be changing the topic. So instead of supplements, is there something else that you see as a medical student that could be, or that is a trending topic rather, regarding your, or revolving around your expertise, such as, again, I use the word enhancements. I know that's controversial. If you don't want to go in that direction, totally fine. I totally get it. I'm not saying you need to be controversial, but there's probably something that is a trending topic or that people talk about a lot. Maybe it's like, like ranking like weight loss tips. I don't know. I'm just kind of I'm thinking of stuff on the spot. Whatever matches your lived experience, your expertise, and also is something that you see a lot of demand for. Enhancements for me was just the first one that comes up. I know a lot of people search for Ozempic, but there might be something similar that you can test out in a tier list with a different topic. I think those 3 changes should help you with your next tier list videos. Hopefully does that make sense?
Yeah, that's it. I think those are all fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. When I say like a trending topic in your space, first off, I'm happy to help identify this too. Can you just riff off some topics for me that are talked about a lot? What would you consider your space to be? Like, I know you're a medical professional, but how do you classify your niche?
You know, that's a good question. And, I feel like the last 10 months of me experimenting with content, I've not been super dialed on that.
Okay.
And, I'm kind of just revisiting, cause I have that in my head, right? When I look back at my content, I don't think it's been as aligned because it's been, trying to do some experimentation and learning. But anyways, to answer your question, I feel like I'm in, I feel like I live in this gray zone, right? Because there's a ton of successful people doing physician content, right?
Yep.
And there's a ton of people doing medical content. Like, I'm not trying to I'm a medical student. Like, that's not like the brand I want to build. Say, look at me now. Granted, the 2 videos that the one you mentioned that got 16,000 and the one I got that had 100 or 120,000. Yep. Me talking about, hey, I got into medical school in 5 months through my lived experience. Yes. So there was something there, I think. But what I'm trying to focus on is I want someone to look at my page and be like, this guy's, talking about health optimization, supplements.
Health, I like that. Health optimization.
Health optimization.
Nice.
I want that guy as my doctor. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at.
Fantastic.
But, I live in this area where I can't, I don't have case examples. I'm not a doctor.
Sure.
So that's where it's not that I'm making excuses, just trying to find that balance. And also there's certain things with me being a candidate for public office and me being a student, I can't necessarily speak on publicly the same as if I weren't in that position.
Sure.
So yeah, that's kind of the gist of what I'm trying to get at is
sure.
Hey Garrett, health optimization, he's a badass. I wish he was my doctor one day.
Yeah. So you brought up some really good keywords here. Health optimization is a good one because now I have a direction on how I can help you find topics to talk about. So I'm just writing it down in the Google Doc while I'm about to say this. So for the chat, I'm gonna segue for my example, and then I'm gonna help Garrett with this next part. And Garrett, I'll have you get out of here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So unless you have a few minutes, I'm happy to give you some more in-depth insights here.
Listen, you're helping me, brother. I'm free as a bird right now. Keep going.
Fantastic. Okay, so chat. So real quick, and Garrett, I'll let you know too. So I know you're not on the live. I'll let you know what I'm doing. I'm showing chat the Yap video on my page because this video, this is a really good lesson that I've learned about finding trending topics. I cracked yap content, that video alone, right? The value in that video applies not only to yapping, but also talking head content. But I chose yapping in particular because I knew that that was a trending topic. I have a competitor list, which everyone in the chat, you guys have seen the research library here on my Google Sheets. I have a list of competitors that are small creators in my niche, and I've seen that multiple outliers on multiple of these creators' pages have been about this topic of yapping. That's how I identified that this was a trending topic. I'm seeing that more than 5 creators on my list have an outlier video talking about yapping. So I changed the words instead of talking head, because this video really is for talking head content, but I changed it to yapping. So all I did, I had the same value in the video, but I added a trending topic, which I think is one of like the main levers. If I were to remake this video, it wouldn't be called star. I would have called it start, because I think trending topic is really like doing a lot of the legwork here. And so this is the same thing for what's happening with Garrett. Like what I would recommend when I'm saying to either keep the same topic that you're doing and then make those changes with like the order, or remix with a trending topic. So right now you have ranking supplements. Now that you've told me some words about your niche, now we can kind of do some of this research and see if there's some ideas or topics that we can pull for Garrett. So when you said health optimization, it made me immediately think of this dude who, I don't know if this aligned with you or not, but I'm going to ask you in 1 second. There's this dude who is like blowing up right now talking about like sleeping, like the best sleeping, it's like sleep maxing, like best things to do for your nightly routine or something. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, so everyone in the chat, man, hopefully this is a good lesson that I've learned. So Garrett, first off, I don't know if sleeping is in your realm of expertise when it comes to health optimization, but what I've just done, since you mentioned health optimization, it made me think of sleeping. So I just typed in sleep on Instagram, and I'm seeing multiple small creators within the last month having viral videos regarding sleep maxing, like sleeping, the best ways to sleep, how to fix like your sleep schedule, sleep routine, night routine. Everyone in the chat, you guys can see this. We're looking at like 6 different small creators right now that have videos that have blown up within the past month or 2 regarding sleep schedules. And so this would be an idea for me if I were to remake the tier list video and I had some expertise around sleep. I would try making a tier list with this sleep topic, because this seems to be in demand. These people, or these small creators, are all blowing up within the last 60 days. That's a really good sign for me regarding sleep maxing. So now my question to you, Garrett, is do you have any knowledge, insights, or expertise around the topic of sleeping?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that would be, I'm going to send you some of these videos, because again, I know you're not here on the live to see it, but I'm going to send you a list of videos that are outliers on small creators pages regarding sleep. I guess, I don't know what you call it, sleep techniques, strategies, routines, whatever. And we'll probably want to identify the 2-word summary of this. Let me see if I can find it here. Like, I don't know if you'd call it a sleep hack. Maybe sleep hack. I got to see what people commonly call it. But this seems to be like a topic that's in demand of the past 60 days that I would try to make a tier list video on. So now I need to figure out what do people refer to this as? It's not like a sleep strategy. Looks like a sleep hack. Do you have any insights on this, Garrett? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like these videos are talking about best ways to get more sleep, basically. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like sleep optimization. I guess sleep. Yeah, I actually saw a couple of those things like sleep
yes,
maxing, hair maxing.
Sleep maxing is the best, or is like the number 1 keyword I'm seeing. So I'm almost thinking of doing a video, if I were you, of like ranking sleep maxing advice. and then, whatever, S to F. I don't even know if you need to use the S to F tier, by the way. That's something else that I would experiment with, is like just get rid of the S to F tier on your videos and see if that pulls any weight for you. Like, instead of just doing ranking supplements S to F tier, like just do ranking supplements, because S to F tier, that sub sentence or sub headline is given in the format, like people understand already.
Yeah, I was thinking of, I have a couple examples saved down of just 0 to 10s, more traditional. But yeah, that's something on my to-do list to try. Yeah, I think there's something there with the sleep topic for sure, though.
I think
a couple ways I could do that format-wise.
I think there's something with this topic, as well as one other thing to think about too. And again, hopefully, it sucks that we'll be able to get the recording of this, no problem. That's fine. Tiago in the chat, we got to figure out how to get the high quality recording of this, because this is a good session with Garrett. The other thing too, in my text hook that I did with the Yap video, is I used common language around, like, in the space. So in my case, that was the word cracked. People say cracked instead of solved for some reason. It's just kind of like a meme. In your case, that word seems to be sleep maxing. Like, I'm seeing several outlier videos within the past 60 days from small creators, which are all like my ding 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 golden ticket criteria, that are all using the word sleep maxing. So whatever you do with this video, I'd recommend having the word sleep maxing within the text hook. So whether it's like ranking sleep maxing advice 1 to 10, whatever, I'll just send you a list of these so you can see. But you want to also consider the common language that people are saying, which, again, seems to be sleep maxing at this moment. So, cool. Does that make sense, Garrett?
100%, man.
Cool. So, yeah, I love that you mentioned health optimization. I see you have functional medicine as well in your bio. What do you mean by functional medicine? I'm a noob here, so I don't know exactly what that means in particular.
Yeah, another thing I probably need to sit down and re-up my bio from when I did it last summer. Functional medicine is essentially, it's not an actual medical specialty, but there's a lot of functional medicine practices that have opened in the last 10 to 20 years. Essentially, is addressing functional systems of the body and identifying root causes to disease, typically with more like holistic means.
I was just about to use that word. I was going to say, is this similar to like holistic advice? Got it.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic. In that case, hold on, because I might have some other things for you. Best thing that I've done in these types of research sessions is trying to define words super clearly, especially if your goal is like, I want to just blow up these formats. I need to figure out, okay, your expertise is functional medicine. What does that mean for like the average audience? Seems like the word holistic is one that I understand, as well as I would imagine the general public. Chat, do you guys understand the word holistic over functional medicine? This is why I like the lives. I can just get live feedback here. Yeah, it seems like the word holistic seems to be one that people understand. There could be something with that word in particular. Like, let me just type in holistic in Instagram search and see what comes up. Yeah. Seems like holistic makes sense. You guys understand what functional medicine is? Because I could just be an idiot. That's definitely a possibility.
That's not like a probably commonly understood
Okay.
word.
And that's totally fine. This is not about your bio. This is about me understanding topics that I could suggest for you to try. And now that I understand more like clearly on your expertise, it gives me a direction for me to aim this next advice. So, okay, hold on. I'm seeing some videos with functional medicine that's doing well. That's good. Holistic health. Nice. Okay. What would be when we're talking about holistic medicines, what would be some examples of like common holistic practices that people try? Oh, I think I just cut off my mic. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I was very against, like, for a time being, I was very against a lot of the commonly prescribed like dermatologist recommendations for my face. Now again, this is going to be attracting a younger audience if you were to make a video about like dermatology holistic medicines, but that's where my frame of reference comes from, which you probably don't want to attract those types of like that younger audience. But what other uses do people commonly resort to like holistic medicines for? Maybe like being sick or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've directly asked this before, but I would say typically the things are not being commonly done in your average doctor's office, right? Like, with your example, where you're dealing with like acne as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did the same thing. Like, I went to a dermatologist as a teenager, was prescribed antibiotics. That didn't work for 2 years, and wrecked my guts. A holistic perspective would be removing, harmful things in your diet that could be contributing to gut dysfunction and autoimmunity. It could be, here's, things you can do with lifestyle-related habits that, can help improve skin quality, like getting a moderate amount of sun exposure. So that's kind of how I would look at it. It's like, not against the grain, but, things that are probably less commonly done, more lifestyle-related, maybe herbal supplement. Functional medicine, like the whole premise or the premise of holistic health is, take what's done in your average doctor's office, but round it out with these other, the rest of this matrix with lifestyle, with sleep, with stress, with diet, with supplementation.
Yes. I'm seeing an outlier video right now from a small account that was posted recently regarding like holistic medicines to try to battle depression and anxiety. I guess what this is looking for. Let me see. Yes. Depression, anxiety. Okay, interesting. There might be something that we can do here. I don't know yet, just because like the sleep one was so glaringly obvious when I typed it in. Like there was so many different outliers from small creators recently that tells me that's a good topic. But there might be something as well for, like ranking holistic medicines for depression or, whatever. I'm just kind of spitballing here. But there might be something else that we can do here depending on the videos that we find. But for now, I would definitely recommend the sleep maxing topic, which I'll send you those, as well as those other changes with the tier list. And then I'll look for some other topics that might be of interest for you to try.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I do want to try to dial in. Not that I don't think this is necessarily like my prime format long term.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something, there's enough success clues here and I think the benefit is some of the things that are hard to manufacture, like books and curiosity, sometimes it's kind of baked in a little bit more to this format. Like you said, you don't even have to necessarily hook. You can just put the most interesting topic. You don't necessarily have to build curiosity because it's, hey, what's next? Like, what's on the list, right? I think I'd be curious. I might even try taking that sleep topic and try it in, a ranking video, in an F tier, in a talking head with some graphics.
Yes.
And just kind of.
I would definitely.
Some toying with that. I've actually been sitting down and I'm trying to think, hey, what's one or two topics that I think are, I know have some performance capability that are on brand.
Yes.
And I can repurpose and things. So I'll definitely take that. I was actually trying to think of 2 to 3, so I'm gonna run with that one.
I was about to say I would definitely run with that topic. I definitely have noticed that on my page. So here's a perfect example with like right now AI and content creation is, it's been a trending topic really since like AI has been on the map, but it's a trending topic, also one that's a little bit, has its pros and cons, a little bit controversial. But every single time that I make a video regarding any sort of AI tool and content, it does well, like guaranteed, because the topic does such a heavy lift to it for this, like the sleep masking one, because that's a good topic that I'm seeing, I would try doing a tier list video. I would try doing maybe a green screen video, you know, like just play around with a whole bunch of different formats and try to, I'm giving you advice that like I'm currently doing on my page is start with the topic, almost like a top-down approach of like, okay, what are my list? Like on my Google Sheets, I have a tab. I have a Google Sheets called like I just call it a research library. And I have 2 tabs. One is for topic research of me basically looking at different competitors in my niche, seeing if there's any common topics within their outliers. And then the other one is trending topics that I find either through Reels or from like keyword searches, just like how we did today. So I just typed in like the word sleep and I saw a ton of viral videos recently about it. I would try to create a list, if you can, of as many proven and or trending topics within your space as possible. And then of course, then you can just try those 2 to 3 formats that you want to crank down on those proven topics. As well as another thing that would be of value is keep note of, either like on your iPhone notes or internally, keep note of the language that people are using around these topics. For example, like as I told you just a few minutes ago, it's not sleep hacks, it's not sleep scores, it's not sleep schedules. Everyone seems to be using the word sleep maxing. So that's like, for whatever reason, that's the topic that people are, or that's the word that people are using. I would definitely keep track of those as well. So those would be the 2 biggest pieces of advice I would give you. And then how are the followers translating from these tier list videos? Are you getting any followers from it? Is it mostly just views? What is that experience like?
Let's take a quick peek real quick.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you're a little gracious. I've probably grown like 200 followers since I reached out to you. I had, you know, if you scroll down, maybe like 20 videos ago, I had like 120,000 view video.
Sure.
That kind of popped off for me. And
sure.
Then that, yeah, let's see. I mean, that one that has 8,000 views, that's 2 follows. You know, that one, the gap year video, 25 follows. Caught that most recent one I posted yesterday. You know, love it or leave it. That was 4 follows. So I mean, nothing crazy. You know, the first variation of the gap year video.
How many follows did? Sorry, how many follows did you get from the school video? You know, the one I'm talking about, the 16,000.
So the one that I referenced, like that was 154. It's world record med school admissions, and the one that the 16,000 video was me talking about that one. That one was 14.
Okay, 14 follows from that.
Yeah, my world record med school video, that was like probably my number 1 video I've ever made.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it right here.
Stupid garbage.
Okay, so 116,000. Yeah, and you got 100 follows from this?
130.
Okay. In that case, I was gonna say, one thing that I look at too. I do this. I used to do this on a monthly basis. Now I'm just trying to do it like every now and then. But keep track of the videos that gain you the most follows. Those are obviously, you know, the most valuable piece of content on your page, and then double down on those. So there are, like, for example, there are 2 formats right now for me that have gained me over 2,000 followers each. So those, I know if I just keep making this type of content, like if I wanted to, again, if my goal was to just like blow up like crazy, which my goal is a little bit different. But if I were trying to just like go crazy tomorrow, I would just spam basically variations of those 2 videos that have got me the most followers. So just keep that in mind, that like the tier list recommendations that I'm giving you will more than likely help you gain viewership and engagement. But if you're not seeing the follows reciprocate from that, just because of like the format itself, then try doing as well the videos that have gained you the most followers. I know that one though, the 116,000, I don't know if that one was like on brand for you necessarily, but there might be something similar. Like,
yeah, you know, and that's something I've been trying to capture and stuff, especially in like the yapping, talking head format. Because that one was like actually a video I made last year that I just slapped a new hook on. The original video flopped, and I was like, you know, I just need to rehook it.
Yep.
You know, just the like, I think that was like driven by topic. I generally think it could have been a world record. I mean, I had, when I decided to go to med school, I had a business degree in the prereqs, and I was admitted in 16 weeks. So that's where I think like it's like, holy shit, how did this guy do this? You know?
Sure.
I was like, hey, I think I have a world record for how fast I got to medical school. What do you think? And I just talked about like, here's what I did in 16 weeks to get there.
Nice. Cool.
So it's like semi on brand.
Yeah.
Not like, you know, but it's not off brand either.
Sure. So there might be something that we can do here. I'll think a little bit deeper. I don't have anything off the top of my head, but if that topic, like, we know that med school admissions is a topic that I've seen many viral videos on, so I would just add that to my topic bank as well. Like, we know today we've learned that sleep maxing is a proven topic. There's several viral videos recently about that. We also know that like med school admissions, I've seen so many videos around like school admissions, med school admissions, that kind of thing. It seems like the different topics around med school seem to be validated. We just got to figure out how can we position that in the way that, you know, you want to. So
yeah, I mean, also got a lot of engagement, but you know, I think something I found interesting was like, you know, half the comments were like, oh, this is crazy cool, dude. And the other half were like, hey, how'd you do this? You know, 20 people messaged me. It's like, hey, can you give me some advice, right?
yeah, that's
and,
good.
And that's something I would like to reach for. Like, how can I do that in the realm of my lived experience? Or like, you know, I've lost and gained 1,000 pounds since I've been bodybuilding and
Oh man,
right? Like, you know, it's like there's something there to talk about. I just haven't figured out how to package it. You know, like,
yeah.
You know, there's the, you know, because there's always advice of like, hey, you need to do cool shit to talk about, right? Like,
Sure.
I feel like I've done some stuff. It's like,
Sure.
be the first medical student public official. You know, I've you know, done this for 20 years. I'm 32 years old. Like,
Sure.
You know, so it's like, you know, and I think, you know, that one was obviously way more clickbaity because it's like the most extreme example possible.
Sure.
In terms of, but you know, there's still like, hey, there's a lot of value to other people that are going through that same journey.
Sure.
Yeah, I actually, you know, I'll write that down. I think, you know, that's something I could keep repurposing. You know, that topic and that lived experience, because you know, I would view that.
It's part of your story. Part of your story. Definitely try to repurpose it, but maybe just add a different frame to it. So it's not like how can you take that video, take basically the same text on screen, maybe even and same hook if you want, and then just spin it more towards like an education, maybe more of like an educational side instead of more entertainment. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, but like change the framing on it. And because it's your video, like you can literally just copy as much of it as you want. Like you can take the transcript, copy as much of that script as you want. Maybe just change how, you know, like the value that you get from the video. But that clearly seems to be a topic that's in demand. I would try to double down on that to some degree. As well as what you're saying about weight loss, like that's also something that I would, if you gained, you said you gained or you lost 100 pounds or you gained 100 pounds?
No, so I was saying over the course of me doing this, and actually, I compiled it all. I gained and lost probably collective like 1,000 pounds.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Going up and down, like, you know, just fluctuations of me gaining 30 pounds, losing
Sure.
30 pounds, gaining 20 pounds, losing 20 pounds.
So that, when we're talking about trending topics, like this is why I'm saying when you, like if you start with a list of topics that we know are proven, it should, if you think about it almost like a tree, like start with the proven topics, then from there you can branch off from each topic into different formats and just see which one sticks. What I'm telling you is stuff that I'm actively doing because I was at the very beginning of this month, I was very heavy into like, let me find the viral outliers, let me remix the hook, let me remix the value, blah, 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 blah. But what I'm trying to do as I hit my first milestone goal, now what I'm doing for my next milestone goal is instead of relying on other people's videos, take the topics and then just like what I'm saying, take like a top-down kind of diagram approach of you know that you have a topic that's in demand, which is like the not weight loss, but med school admissions, and then just apply different formats to it, see which sticks, and then just do that with various different topics. Weight loss is 100% another proven topic. I mean, if you just type in weight loss, you see thousands of viral videos about it. You could do stuff about like body fat percentage. You said bodybuilding as well. Like those are all topics that you could try in terms of like if you want to do tier list videos, ranking weight loss strategies or weight loss techniques, or like ranking diets S to F tier. You know what I mean? Like these are all stuff that people want. Same thing with like working out or bodybuilding. Obviously, like you don't want to become. I get that there's a gray area of like I don't want to become a fitness creator per se. You want to be more of like almost like a a doctor, if you will. So obviously it's up to you on how you frame it. But yeah, I think that would help you as well.
For sure.
Cool.
Well, seriously, Sean, you appreciate all the wisdom, my friend. You didn't have to go this in depth with me today, but it's much appreciated, man.
Of course, man. You'll determine if it's wisdom or if it's lunacy, I guess, from me, depending on how the advice goes. Seems to be for the past couple lives, some of the words that I've said have resulted in good outcomes. So hopefully it is wisdom.
I'll take the notes. I don't want to take more of your time. I know other people want help, but
Sure.
Like so the one thing I really would like to dial in is like, and I think like you said for yourself, look at some of yours that have gained you the most follows. I do really want to dial in on a way to do yapping and talking head.
Sure.
In my niche, and I've been using the word repeatable a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but like something that's I can balance. Because like right now I've got another 5 weeks of limited responsibility. I'm trying to devote a lot more time to content.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope I can walk out and say, hey, like I've got 1 or 2 ways that I've found to do ranking videos that I know are going to at least perform decently well. I found a way to structure and visually format my yaps.
Yep.
That is on brand that I can actually get to perform. So
Yep.
that'd be something maybe in the next week or 2 I can hop on and.
Sure.
Once I've maybe done some examples, especially within like that's where I found you was off the Yap Max thing or
Yeah.
I crack Yap. So
Yeah, thank you.
I still want to crack Yap myself.
Cool. Yeah, the biggest thing, and I'll give for everyone in the chat here. This is the last thing that I'll say about the yapping. I have a structure that I followed in that video, to make a point. It's also people, 1J especially, would know in the chat, like we have 250 videos in a huge doc, which I can send your way if you want. I have 250 yaps that all follow this structure that I talked about in this video. But like I said earlier, the biggest learning lessons from that video for me was that I talked about a trending topic, or at least a proven topic, but definitely bonus points if it's a trending topic, such as, again, sleeping. Like if I were to yap about anything right now for you, it would be around sleeping for sure. And then second thing for me was I had a simple script structure, so I didn't go too in depth. It was very simple, so I'll send you the script of this video if you want it, so you can emulate what worked here. And then the third thing is that I spoke about an unspoken truth, which is that like yapping videos, I basically gave a hot take that like a lot of yapping videos are structured, which many people can verify. I'm not saying that these are all the reasons, but these are all the reasons when I've looked at this video. Like when I've written down every reason why I think this video did well as why I made the video in the first place. This was my thought process. I wanted to speak around something that I knew people thought about, but maybe never verbalized. I don't even know if that's a word, but verbally said, as well as speaking about a trending topic. And I kept it simple. So with you, when it comes to sleeping, I would think, okay, well, Sean can give me a structure for me to follow if I want. How can I know that this might be a trending topic. Is there anything that I can say that might be an unspoken truth or maybe a hot take around this trending topic of sleeping? For example, I can't even think really of one right now. Maybe like blue light glasses actually don't work or something, before sleep. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You got to figure that out. And then how can I keep it simple? So I think my yapping video was like 40 seconds, but when I send you the script, you'll see that like it's kind of just like one sentence per bullet point. I've found that like a lot of my recent videos, again, I've like intentionally gone super in depth on a lot of my recent videos just to build trust with people that have been following me. But for the videos that I want to really pop off, I try to keep it as simple to follow as possible. So that's all.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Shoot that over. That'd be great to take a look at.
Cool. All right, Garrett. Yep, I'll send it to you. Mace, thanks for joining the chat. We just had Garrett on. Garrett, feel free to hop in anytime, and thanks again, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right, bye. All right. Let's send this over to Garrett real quick. All right, so we're drafting this up for Garrett real quick, and you guys, hopefully you can find some value from this. This is all I've learned so far about proven and trending topics. What do we got? Who do we got in here? 1J still? What's up, 1J? What's up, Mace? And now I'm going to send over the script. I'm going to send him our star script. All right, did you guys find some value in today's session? It was a long one. Hopefully we got some good stuff. I didn't even really check who's in the chat here. My bad, guys. Thanks, 1J. I appreciate it. Let me go and check who's in here. Who's in here? So who do we got in here? We got 1J. Oh, Stephanie's back. Stephanie, are you in here? Stephanie, tomorrow we'll have to do the series studying. I got distracted today with Garrett. So if you're in here tomorrow, let's definitely look at some signature series. 1J just got back onto the ground, missed quite a bit. No, that's fine. Yeah. The replay, we were helping Garrett. What's up, King Faith? Guys, for tomorrow's live, we're going to study signature series. So if you've ever seen those videos on someone's Instagram where they're like, it's day 1 of 30 of me trying to get to X goal, we're going to study those tomorrow and see how can we make those for our pages, because that is the secret to not only blowing up quickly, but also to create a really unique personal brand that I'm seeing everywhere. Oh my gosh, totally, I'll be here. I work from home on Tuesdays. Awesome. Fantastic. right, so let me send this over to Garrett. Hopefully he found some value from that. Hopefully you guys found some value from that session with Garrett too. We had him call, just for everyone in the live, we had Garrett call in for an hour. He walked us through some of the videos that he's trying to create. I gave him some things that I think would work well. We won't know if it was wise advice until he applies it himself, but I think it's definitely worth doing for sure. And let me send him the content game plan. What up, homie? Can you audit my page? I can schedule it. Just want a quick overview. Loved your audit so far. What's up, King JJ, man? Thanks for hopping in here. Do you want to send me a DM and I can have you call into the live? We can do that. Any chance we can do that Wednesday? Let me know if that works for you. Tomorrow I want us to all come together to look at those series videos. Would that work for you, King JJ, if Wednesday we did that? Awesome. Yeah, send me a DM, man. Let's make it happen. I'll have you call in. Maybe we might be able to figure out a better way where I'm not just holding the phone up to the mic. Were you guys, for everyone that was in here, 1J and the rest, Tiago, were you guys able to hear Garrett well? There might be a better way for us to record the audio. Maybe I can have Garrett... Oh, maybe I should have him call into the computer, maybe. And I can stream the audio. Let me know. But yeah, King JJ, let's do that by Wednesday. Hopefully I will have a better way to record the person's audio. Tiago, let's when I'm done with this live, maybe you and I can test to see if we can record audio from the computer that I'm streaming on. That way it's like super crystal clear. I'm not having to hold the phone the whole time. So let me know. Calling in would be best, I think, and yes, I'll plan. Yeah, I definitely think calling in would be best. I'm going to see if you can call in. I'll give you a number to call, and I will try to hook it up to my computer so that you guys can hear it, and I have both hands, and we can actually just, like, go through your page together. That way I'm not having to hold the phone the whole time. That would be ideal. Okay? Maybe I need to get a headset. Headset could be, maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. So I'm writing down this doc for Garrett, and then we'll be done here. Okay. Let's go tier list, and then Tiago, if you have some time, let's regroup and see if we can test that strategy. Okay. Lastly, all right, guys, I think we're about to be done here. Let's share this. Guys, as we wrap up, what did we think of today's session? 1J, Tiago, everyone else, what did we think? Did you guys get some value from today's session? We did a one-on-one with Garrett. Hopefully that was great. Let me know if there's anything that we could have done better, improved on. Let me know. Hopefully the audio and video sounded okay. All right. Cool. We're done. Folks, that's a wrap. Another long stream, but I think this one was super valuable. I think it'll make for a great YouTube video. We've been on for an hour and a half. Fantastic. Guys, everyone that's in here, how should we do this, Tiago? Should we send the YouTube link to these folks? I wish there was a better way. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for being in here. I actually think it might just be Tiago and I at this point. But thanks so much for another live. We'll come back tomorrow, and it'll be a great session. So, see ya.